Here we go. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to this live with me, Kelly McHugh. I'm the founder of Digital Yoga Academy. Really excited that you guys are joining me this evening for this live training. I'm talking about the 3 mistakes that yoga teachers make when creating and launching their online yoga course. So that's what I'm talking about today. And as you start to join, do say hello. I can see some people are starting to join now. Say hello, let me know where you're watching from. If you are interested in teaching yoga online, you don't want to miss this training, okay? Because today I'm sharing with you 3 mistakes. They're the top 3 mistakes that I see yoga teachers make when they are creating and launching their online yoga course. So as you are joining, guys, say hello. Say hello. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Hey, Sally. Hey, Leah. Hey, Leah. Hey, guys. Thank you for joining. Who have we got here? Grace Tree Foundation. So I'm going live on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, excited to be here with you guys this evening. It is evening here in London. We've got Sherelle. Hey, Sherelle. Nice to join. Thank you for joining. Hannah. Hey, guys. Well done. Well done, everybody, for turning up, for showing up. So today I'm sharing with you the top 3 mistakes that yoga teachers make when creating and launching their online yoga course. And what I'll say, what I want to start with really is that so many teachers spend the first few years of their business just really kind of taking shots in the dark and hoping that somebody is going to magically find them, right? And one of the reasons why I created the Profitable Yoga Teacher program is because the digital world is constantly evolving. It's changing so much. And not only that, because it's changing and it's always changing all the time, there is so much incorrect, outdated, and conflicting information and strategies out there. So the program, which is open for enrollment at the moment, which you guys are all well aware of, offers you the most up-to-date, the most tried and tested strategies that you're going to learn inside the program, step by step. It's inside a step-by-step proven framework. And that framework is alongside coaching and accountability, which you definitely won't get, spending hours and hours digging through outdated blog posts or just trying to implement disconnected strategies just to maybe find something that might work. Okay, you don't get that. And the Profitable Yoga Teacher takes you through this tried and tested proven framework step by step. Okay, so it's really saving you from making mistakes and wasting time and just trying to figure out everything on your own. And I'm really confident, I'm a few years into my business now, into an online business. I'm really confident that I've cracked the code on these specific steps that you need to take to become a profitable yoga teacher, to become a profitable yoga teacher. And don't get me wrong, I made mistakes as well. I made mistakes learning all of this, but you don't need to make these mistakes, okay? So today I'm sharing with you the top 3 mistakes that yoga teachers make creating and launching their online yoga course. So let me just check in. Who else have we got? We've got Maria. Hey, Maria. Helen. Hannah, Nicola, thank you guys for joining. And yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here. So I definitely made mistakes, right? I made mistakes going through this process myself, okay? And one of the first mistakes that I made when I first launched Digital Yoga Academy, okay, is the top mistake that I'm sharing with you today, okay? I definitely made this mistake. So let me tell you, the top mistake, number 1, is not growing an audience, okay? It's not growing your community that is going to buy into your course. That's the first mistake you can make. So what would you be doing instead? You'd be jumping head first into creating a course, okay? So if you made that mistake and you decided you wanted to create and launch an online course, and the first thing you did was start creating your course without growing your community, it's a huge mistake, guys. It's a huge mistake. And that is exactly what I did. Like, I was so excited about creating my first online course that I jumped straight into it. So let me just ask you guys, share with me in the comments, when you were thinking about, you know, going into this, into teaching yoga online, what do you think is the first thing that you needed to do? Did you think that it would be about creating your course, or did you think you'd first need to spend time, you know, building up your community? And I guess for those of you that were in the boot camp, you kind of know the right answer to this. You kind of know the right answer to this. But what were your initial thoughts on what was the first thing you would need to do if you were going about creating and launching an online yoga course? What is are you first drawn to, oh, I need to start creating my course? Or were you thinking, oh yeah, I need to build my community? Let's have a look. Video and course. Yeah, exactly. So this is what I did. You know, I was so excited about what I was going to do and the course I was going to create. That's exactly what I jumped into head first into that. So any guesses to what happened? Any guesses to what happened with me? Any guesses? Bear me 1 second, guys. What's going on here? Any guesses of what happened? Well, a few things happened, okay? A few things happened. Oh, here we go. Yeah, well done, guys. A few things happened. Because I had no audience, I didn't really know who my ideal student was. Yeah, I had no idea of who my ideal student was going to be. And because I had no audience, I wasn't able to validate my course. Yeah, I wasn't able to see if it was actually something that yoga teachers wanted. And because I had no audience, no one bought my course, okay? So you can see that this is really one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, is to not first focus on growing your audience prior to creating and launching your online yoga course. And this is why, you know, in the program, you don't get into planning your course out until module 4. And you don't get into actually creating your course until module 5, because prior to that, we're doing the groundwork and we're doing the audience building right from the outset, okay? And the great thing about that is that when you come to actually create your course, you're at the same time growing your community, okay? So we're doing it kind of in sync, which is brilliant to be able to do it in that way. So you really don't want to start creating your course without first, you know, doing the work to understand who your ideal student is and what their challenge is, to choose an idea that really offers a transformation that your student is after, and also to validate your idea so you can gain that real confidence and clarity, and to qualify your audience so that some of your students actually enroll on your course. And of course, you can't do any of those things unless you have a community, unless you've actually spent the time to grow your audience. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So yeah, so I'm just telling you, this is a mistake I made 3 years ago when I started my business. I jumped headfirst into creating my course. Jumped headfirst into that. I had no community, yeah? I had no community. So yeah, Leah, no one knew about my course. Well, people did start to know about it as I kind of launched it, but I hadn't built up a community, and I didn't qualify people. Yeah, I hadn't nurtured people. So it's a big mistake to make. And with excitement, you know, when we're getting into this, we can get very excited about what we're going to create and put out there in the world, that we do jump headfirst into that, yeah, because we're just really excited to get it out there. But we need to do the groundwork. We need to build the foundations, yeah, so we can really set ourselves up for success. And that's really what the program does for you. Yeah, that's where we start. Foundation building. So there are steps to take. Yeah, there are steps to take, and these are steps that are part of the framework that I teach you in the Profitable Yoga Teacher program. There's work to be done, guys. Yeah, there's work to be done. So it really doesn't matter like how good your topic is. The only reason why someone's going to purchase your course is because they want the outcome. Yeah, they're buying the transformation, how they look, how they're going to feel. So you want to be really clear on your outcome. your transformation that you're promising, that's really the most important part of your course. And you can't know what that is unless you have a community to ask, and unless you've been able to do that research and validation work, okay? So, you know, I've mentioned validation before, and when you validate your course idea, you'll do the inner work around it. Yeah, you'll test out your ideas, you'll get feedback, you'll use validation strategies to fully, you know, understand what your potential students want and need from you. And, you know, because you're not just, you know, throwing together some classes here and putting it online for people to purchase. We're not talking about standalone yoga classes like what you find on YouTube. We're talking about guiding your students towards an outcome or a goal. And to be able to do that, you need to have a community that you can validate your course with. So that was the other thing that was missing for me, because I didn't have a community there in the beginning. I didn't have anyone to talk to about my course idea. So what I'll tell you now from the experience I've had over the last few years is that when you've validated your course and you're incredibly confident about creating a course that you know your audience wants and needs, it is a totally different kind of experience, okay? So, you know, when you've done that work, which is what you learn how to do that in the program, it is just a completely different experience. So before you put your heart and soul into this, you know, I want you to get super clear, and I want you to have done that validation, okay? You can't just guess. Okay, so we need to have our audience, guys, for many reasons. There's many reasons there why we need our audience, and it's really, really important to grow your audience first, okay? So there you go. That is mistake number one, okay? Do we understand mistake number one? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, exactly. So there's many reasons why we need our audience. Yeah. Cheryl, I now know I need to build my community first. Exactly, that is it. We need to build our communities first, guys, and then we'll move on to planning out and creating our courses. So that is mistake number one, and I talk about it from experience, okay? And mistake number two, okay? So mistake number two is not approaching your course creation and launching process, or even your online yoga business, not approaching it with consistency and persistence, okay? So not being consistent and not approaching it with real persistence, okay? Like grit. We've talked about grit in the past, but this is what it's about. So let me talk about consistency first. And by this, I mean creating habits, yeah? I mean habits, the results of which compound over time, okay? They compound over time. Consistency here is really important, guys, okay? Because what might seem, you know, really insignificant when it's just done once can actually become quite significant when it's done consistently over and over again, okay? So we need to look at how we can create daily habits and just focus on one thing. Who has a problem focusing on one thing in their yoga business? Let me know in the comments if this is something that you're struggling with, if this is something you struggle with. Because, you know, I think here, when you get into a program like the Profitable Yoga Teacher, or even if you're not in a program and you've decided that you want to do this, and maybe you've decided you're going to do it alone, you need to have created daily habits and just be focusing on creating and launching your course, okay? It's so important, because otherwise you're just going to get distracted, you get overwhelmed, you easily lose track of what your goal is, okay? So it sounds, you know, sounds like common sense really, but you have to make the effort to create daily habits, yeah? It requires some effort. You have to be consistent. And I think, you know, if you're just getting started with the online space or this business model, because this is a new business model, you're bringing in a new vertical into your business, being consistent can be difficult. if you don't have a framework to follow, or you don't have accountability and support to stay on track. And I think, you know, as yoga teachers, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, don't we? And we hear about the hustle, okay? You've got to hustle and you've got to do all the things. And you have all of these tasks and priorities, and maybe you're in different places throughout the week. And often it can feel like you have to do everything and you have to be everything, you know, especially when we're just starting out. Does that resonate with anybody? Yeah. So, you know, what I'll say to you is, what if you could just do one thing, focus on one thing outside of your teaching yoga, but you just focus when you're working on your business on getting your course out there, creating and launching your course. You just focus on that. And you focus on that day in, day out. You're chipping away at it. You know, that's how you're going to move forward. That's how we compound the results, okay? And I really believe that not enough yoga teachers are doing this. They're not being consistent enough. And the reason for this is the hustle and bustle. Yeah, it's the hustle. It's trying to do all the things, and it's not having any accountability, because let's face it, you're likely doing this on your own. Yeah, it's likely that you don't have a business partner or a team to support you to stay accountable. So we're kind of doing this on our own. And the thing is, it's not enough just to set goals for the future. We also need to become consistent with our daily habits. Yeah, that's the engine, isn't it, that's going to move us towards our goals. Is this making sense, guys? So I think, you know, when you've identified a goal, so let's say it's, you know, your goal is that you want to get your course out there. What you need to get there is the step-by-step framework that's going to propel you in that direction, and the support and accountability to move you towards that end goal, okay? So that might not sound like a big shift, but it is, yeah? It is, it really is. You know, like, productive and successful people practice the things that are important to them on a consistent basis. They really set up their days to create habits and be consistent with their habits. So ask yourself now, just ask yourself the question, like, if your goal is to get your program out there, do you have the step-by-step framework to follow? Do you have support? Do you have accountability that's going to allow you to be consistent, to keep chipping away at it, moving forward so you can reach that goal? Do you have that, guys? Let me know in the comments if you do. Because, you know, this is hard work. I've always been very honest about what it really takes to do this, okay? It's hard work. There's a lot of work that goes into this. And when you're doing it on your own, it's even more of a challenge. So the second part of this, mistake number two, is not being persistent, okay? Creating and launching an online course and building your online business and using this business model, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a get rich quick scheme. When you have an online course, what have you done? You've created a business asset. Yeah, you've created an asset in your business. You've done all of that work, that hard work up front. And now you're in a position where you can launch your course over and over again, okay? So it's really about building a sustainable yoga business, and it's one that's going to allow you to be in, you know, this business, to be in teaching yoga for the long term. And the rewards can be huge, okay? The rewards can be huge. So in this last year, this is my third year in doing this. In this last year, I've reached the six-figure mark. The launches that I'm doing now are bringing in thousands of dollars in revenue. My last launch brought in almost 60,000. I'm on track with this launch to reach my goals as well, okay? So why am I telling you this? Basically, I want you to know that if I can do it, you can do it, okay? Because it obviously didn't start out this way for me. I've had to do the work, okay? And remember, there are far more yoga practitioners, yoga students out there in the world than there are yoga teachers. I know there's a lot of yoga teachers, but there's more people out there practicing yoga. There are billions of people in the world that can really be reached by you and your message. 60% of the world's population is online, okay? So many people are not in reach of a yoga studio, and lots of people do actually want to learn online. There really is a huge opportunity for yoga teachers, guys. So, you know, there's a huge opportunity for you to be able to teach online, to be able to impact other people's lives, and to get paid for your time and your effort and your energy and your teaching, okay? So I don't want you to be disillusioned into thinking that, you know, this works for me because it's business courses for yoga teachers, because my business is super niche. Yeah, it's really niche. Not every yoga teacher wants to learn this stuff, okay? You guys watching me now are unique, right? You're entrepreneurial yoga teachers, and you're a segment in the yoga teacher space, okay? I started with 0, and you guys might be starting with 0, but if you really believe in this, if you really believe and you are 100% fully connected to your purpose, like I am, I'm fully connected to supporting you, and you're consistent and you're persistent, i.e. you don't give up, you can do it. You can get the rewards as well. So, you know, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It requires dedication, it requires hard work, it requires a lot of learning, consistency, and being persistent. Okay, we have to show up. It requires you to show up, to really show up for your yoga business vision, your dream, you know, forgetting out, for moving away from that 20 classes a week scenario, for having more time for your family, more freedom to travel, maybe you want to live a location independent life, for having more income to support your household, do the things that you love. You know, ultimately it's about all of those things, but it's about making a bigger impact. And I know that all of you, like myself, want to make a bigger impact. So we have to keep showing up, yeah? We have to keep showing up, and we have to keep being persistent. Yeah, does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? It's kind of a little bit of tough love there, but I just really wanted to hit home with that, is the consistency and being persistent is so important. And it's a big mistake if we think that we can just go into this, give it a go, oh, it didn't work, and move on. That's not how it works, you know. You have to be, you have to know that there will be setbacks, yeah? It's your ability to move through the setbacks that really determines your success. And, you know, it's inevitable that at some point you're going to run into some challenges, some complications. You know, failing is really part of the process of getting good at something and mastering something. Yeah, we make mistakes. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. And making mistakes, you know, dealing with your failures is really part of your job as a yoga entrepreneur. So, you know, I think quite often we think of something as a failure, you know, even when we've just started. But my mindset with that, you know, with anything that I do for the first time, is to be willing to suck at it at the beginning. Yeah, just be aware that you have to progressively get better. Yeah, if you're in that mindset, that's a brilliant mindset for business success. Yeah, because, you know, at the end of the Profitable Yoga Teacher program, you'll have launched your first course, okay? And this is by no means going to be the best version of your course, okay? You learn a lot in 6 months, but your job beyond that, and you learn how to do this in Module 8, your job is to refine what you've done, yeah? Refine your course, how you launched it, you know, learn from it, understand what worked, what didn't work, and what you need to now do to make it better, what worked in the launch period with your audience, what can you do more of next time, what do you want to just cut out completely, what will you do less of. You have to go through that process. So it's not a case of just launching a course and that's it. You're going to launch it again and again and again and again. And every time you do, you learn and you optimize and you relaunch. Okay, so you'll continue to be persistent. Yeah, we have to be persistent, and this is the point. So eventually, you know, you'll get to a point where you've launched your course so many times, you can see what's working. And then perhaps at that point, if it's looking good, maybe you'll then switch your course onto an evergreen. So an evergreen is when you're not doing a live launch like what I do for these 6-month programs, but you have it on evergreen, which means people can enroll all the time. So you have a funnel, a sales funnel of people opting into your freebie, going through your email sequence, getting your content, and a number of those people going on to enroll at the end of that nurture sequence. So that's how it works. So that's what we're aiming for. That's where we get to this point where we build passive income. So, you know, to get to that point requires you to be persistent. It requires consistency. Okay. So any thoughts on that, guys? Any thoughts on what I've just shared with you there? And, you know, it just allows you to keep showing up at the end of the day, to keep building your audience, to keep launching, to keep growing. This is about building a sustainable business. And a few years down the line, you know, look where you might be, you know, a few years down the line of really working on this, being dedicated and, you know, getting yourself out there and showing up for your vision. Okay, so that's number two. That's number two. So number three, the third mistake that yoga teachers make is not investing in themselves and their business. So I've touched on this a little bit, but to fully succeed, you know, as a yoga business owner, which you guys, all of you guys are, you must start to act and think like a business owner. Okay, so that means investing. That successful business owners invest. They invest in their own knowledge, they invest in people, they invest in systems. They know that they can't do all of this on their own in order to grow. And to get to that point, it requires you to overcome fear. It requires you to really address your mindset and to overcome fear. You know, I've had to go through this process myself. And to build a business and to truly grow, you must invest, okay? So think of it like this. I want to ask you guys, how much have you invested in teacher trainings? Because initially, you may have invested thousands of pounds or dollars into actually learning to become a yoga teacher in your initial training. And you may have gone on and invested even more since then. So any ideas, guys? Have you tallied it up? You know, from your first ever 200-hour teacher training to where you are now, have you tallied up that number of how much money you've actually invested? How much of investment you made in your own training as a yoga teacher? And you know, so I see that over and over, you know, teachers going on training after training after training, but then they're still struggling with growing their business. And it's not because they don't have the teaching skills, because clearly they do. Maria says, I don't even want to know. Clearly they do have teaching skills, but it's because they don't know how to connect with their ideal students, or how to grow their communities, or how to be consistent in building their business in a sustainable way. That means coming out of the studio model. When I say in a sustainable way, it means, you know, being able to offer higher priced offerings that are going to give you the freedom that you deserve. And, you know, I think now is really the time to make teaching yoga actually work for you. Yeah, to actually make the money that you've spent to become a yoga teacher, or to make that money that you've invested so far, make it work for you, you know, financially, energetically, sustainably. And, you know, whether that's investing in a business course to improve your knowledge, or getting a coach to keep you accountable, or being part of a like-minded community, or maybe, you know, it's investing a few hours a week in a virtual assistant, yeah, investing into a VA to support you with the admin side of things, or to help you with your social media. And what does that do? It allows you, it frees up your time and allows you to work on growing your business, because you only have a certain number of hours in a week, yeah? You only have a certain amount of time available to you. So that's really a resource. And just that decision, making that decision to invest in a person can be a big step. That can be a really big step, because quite often it might mean that you're forking out money and not instantly seeing the benefit or the reward. So it can feel like a risk, it can feel risky, it can feel like you're not making that money back in the beginning. But if you're really tied up with admin, how can you have the time to work on your online course or to work on any other higher priced offerings that you want to offer? Yeah, so it might feel like these things might feel like a risk, these investments, but when you are fully connected to your purpose and your why, and you really want to do this, that is when it will pay off. That's when you will reap the rewards of your investments. So everything that you invest in yourself and your business will come back to you over and over. I've invested thousands and thousands and thousands into my knowledge and into my business. And I wouldn't be speaking with you guys today if I hadn't done that. But I've had to break through my mindset blocks around investing in myself. And I'm telling you now, 100%, I've not had any regrets, yeah? So it's about mindset. This is really about mindset. And when we see ourselves as solely, a yoga teacher, and we're not seeing ourselves as a business owner, we make different decisions. So it's also about identity, Are you identifying yourself as a business owner? Let's answer that question, guys. Answer that question. Are you identifying yourself as a business owner, as a yoga business owner? Are you sitting in that identity as a yoga business owner? Because this is about, being in a growth mindset, in a success mindset. And that's exactly why the Profitable Yoga Teacher program and all of my programs start with mindset. We do that work. It's the very first lesson. It's the very first lesson. We do that piece of inner work to get into the mindset and to truly embody the identity of a yoga business owner who thinks and acts and makes the decisions of a yoga business owner. I work on this every single day of my life, yeah? So I'm not blocking myself, because, to create more impact, I have to change my mindset and I have to think and act like a business owner. And part of that is making decisions around what I invest in. So important. Investing in people, growing my team. I've been really focused on growing my team this year because I can't do all of this on my own. So investing into Facebook ads. I've invested a lot of money into Facebook ads and my knowledge around that. Yeah, so it's like identifying, where do I need the help? Where do I need the support? Where are the gaps? And how can I invest in myself and in my business to really help me to grow and scale? Yeah, does that make sense to you guys? Any questions about it? Yes, I am a business owner, Maria says. Well done. Love it. Yes, Sally, yes, I'm the CEO. You are indeed. Grace, yes, I see myself as a business owner. Well done, guys. Exactly, there you go. So, any surprises there with what I've shared with you today? Any surprises? I've shared the top 3 mistakes that yoga teachers make when when creating and launching their online yoga course. Any surprises? So let me give you a recap. Mistake number 1, mistake number one is to not grow your audience first, is to have no audience, so that you can't, you have no idea of who your ideal student is. You can't validate your course. You have no one to launch it to when you have no one there to launch your course to. You've not qualified anyone because you've not built your community first. That's a big mistake to make. It's a mistake I made. And then the second mistake is not being consistent and not being persistent. Yeah, two things there: consistency and being persistent. And then the third mistake is thinking that we don't need to invest in our knowledge or, in support, whether that's, people in our team, a VA for a couple of hours a week, or systems as well, guys. We need the systems in our business. If you're going to be creating and launching an online course, you need to get your head around the fact that you're going to have to invest in systems like Teachable and ConvertKit. I was paying out money on these systems right at the very beginning, before I had people enrolling on my courses, before I was making any money in my business. And it goes back to your why and knowing and your belief. Yeah, so it goes back to your purpose and it goes back to your belief. If you really believe in this, you will show up. I'm telling you now. If you are 100% connected to your purpose and your vision for your course and how you want to support and help people in the world, you will show up. You'll show up, you'll be consistent, you'll be persistent, you'll show up and you'll invest in the things that you need to make it happen. Trust me. So there you have it. Those are the three things. And before I move on and tell you who's won the scholarships, because I know that's why you're all really here, I just want to leave you with this really. It's like, when you are following a step-by-step framework, or a program such as the Profitable Yoga Teacher, and you've got someone there that you trust, okay? So somebody's walking you through the process. All of the lack of confidence around not knowing what to do really melts away when you found the right mentor, when you found the right program to guide you through, okay? Keep that in mind. Just know that you don't need to know everything yourself, okay, before you embark on such a huge thing as creating and launching an online course, as long as you find someone who's going to walk you through it step by step. And, so please don't think that you have to have it all figured out before you start your online course and before you launch it. Find your mentor, guys, find your coach. Obviously, I would love it to be me, but find the person that you really resonate with, that really gets you and is going to be patient with you and is going to walk you through the steps and is going to support you and know and understand you and your business. Okay, let someone teach you how to do this. I honestly believe everybody has an online course in them. Everyone has knowledge, a skill set that they can teach. Okay, and if you've been getting results for someone else, you've been getting results for yourself. You can use something that you teach already in ways, whether that's in person, whether it is in person, you can teach that to other people in an online course. So know that you've really got it in you to share. You've got it in you to share. So don't listen to any fears, guys. Don't listen to fears, because remember what I say, fears are just recycled. We all got the same fears. We've all gone through them. And more than anything else, I just really want you to experience what's possible when you create your online course. And just explore it. So any questions on what I've shared today, guys? Any questions on what I've shared today? Any questions on what I've shared today? Okay, so I have been running the last couple of days a scholarship for the program, for the Profitable Yoga Teacher program. Lots of you have applied. I've spent a long time today going through the applications. Myself and my team have. So thank you to everyone who applied. I really, really appreciate you, going through that application process. And The reason for the scholarship really is because I want to be able to give back to you guys for being such an incredible part of this community. And I understand how life gets sometimes, you know, with financial constraints. So I don't want that to be, you know, a reason why a few of you can't join the program. So I've offered 3 spaces, 1 free, 1 50% and 1 30% discount. And the person, the yoga teacher who I am awarding the free scholarship to is Elizabeth Large. Is Elizabeth on with me? Are you here, Elizabeth? Are you here, Elizabeth? Hello, are you here, Elizabeth? Let me know if you're here. So Elizabeth Large is our free scholarship, and our second scholarship our second scholarship is, in fact, she's just joined us, Kat. Hey, Kat. So Kat has got the 50% scholarship. Kat has got the 50% scholarship, so congratulations to Kat. And then our third scholarship with the 30% has been awarded to Juliet. Is Juliet online? I'm not sure if she is. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So well done, guys. Well done, and thank you, as I said. Thank you so, so much. Okay, so Juliet Lundholm, you are our third winner. So thank you so much to you guys for applying. Let's have a look in the comments. Who's here? Yay, well done, well done, well done, well done. You guys have been showing up and you're absolutely amazing and incredible. And I love all of your ideas as well for your courses. Really, really excited to help you bring those ideas to life. And enrollment for the program closes tomorrow. So if you are, you know, if you're in, this is your chance, guys, to be in. You know, it's closing tomorrow, and after the doors close, we start next week. So the program actually starts next week on the 4th of November. The next enrollment for the Profitable Yoga Teacher is likely to be spring 2020. Okay, so this is your chance. This is your chance to do it. Whilst I'm here, do any of you have any questions about the program? Do any of you have any questions about the program, which I can answer right here, right now? So let me know if you do. Let me know if you do. If you have any questions about the program. It's a 6-month program, transformative program. It's going to take you through a step-by-step proven framework to create and launch your online yoga program, your online yoga course. Let me share the link with you guys right now. Let me share the link with you guys. Here we go. There we go. So it includes a step-by-step framework, which is essentially the strategies and the steps that you need to take to get to the finish line. And by the end of the 6 months, you will have created and launched your first online yoga course. Okay, so you'll have gone through the whole process with me, and you'll have version 1.0 of your course. And you'll get all of that strategy, and then as well as that, you get a lot of support from me and my team. So every single week there's a live Q&A, and because I drip feed the content out week after week, it means that you can get your questions answered on the content that's just been released that week. So it's a really great way to stay on track and to be really supported with your learning and through the implementation of the program. There's also a live coaching session at the end of each month as well. And those coaching sessions are a really great opportunity to just dive a bit deeper into the content that you've had access to in that month. As well as that, you have all of the accountability from an awesome group of like-minded teachers inside a private community. You have accountability partner as well, so I match you up with someone else, and you have accountability from me. I'm going to be kicking your butt along the way, so you stay supported and you stay on track and you stay focused. I do everything I can to get you to the finish line, and that is my goal, is to get you to the finish line. So yeah, so there you go. So that is the program. We start next week. It runs for 6 months. You can also go at your own pace, okay, because you have lifetime access to the content. So you can definitely go at your own pace. You know that there's a month where you're going to be going off on a teacher training. You come back to it when you're back. So it's all good, and you get that support from everyone there as well. So Charles said, hello Charles, is the focus online on growing an online business? What about growing the in-person face-to-face teaching business? Okay, so I actually have thank you for your question. This particular program is specifically for teachers who want to create and launch an online yoga course. But I do have a program for building your yoga business, which includes in-person events like workshops and retreats and filling your classes. And also we touch on the online stuff as well. That program is called Yogipreneur Launchpad. That will be open for enrollment again next year. So that's, at the moment, I'm running that program with 52 teachers right now. At the minute, we're halfway through. So I'll be looking to relaunch that in the new year. So yeah, so if you're interested in specifically on teaching online, creating an online program or a course or a membership site, this is the program for you. The Profitable Yoga Teacher is the program for you. So any other questions, guys, for me? So really, really excited and grateful to the teachers who have already enrolled. And yeah, if you have any questions, I'm available tomorrow. I've got availability in my diary tomorrow. I've kept it clear for anyone who wants to get on a call with me. So if you want to get on a 15-minute call, then feel free to send me a DM in Instagram and I will send you the link to my online calendar. And I will share my online calendar with you guys here on Facebook now. But please feel free to reach out and book a call in with me if you've got any kind of fears or anything like that. Usually when I get on these calls, I'll be talking to, we might be talking about just your belief, self-belief, belief in yourself that you can actually do it. That's generally what it's kind of is around. Or it might be some, maybe you've got questions about this online support that you get, like the live support, whatever it might be. Feel free to reach out to me, send me an email, and we can book in a call. I think that's it from me, guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for joining me yet again. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited to start this journey with you. So if you're watching the replay, thank you again for watching the replay. And yeah, just reach out to me and I will see you guys hopefully in the program. Lots of love to you all. Lots of love. Bye now.